best to the rest. Yeah, right. I want to talk now a bit of strategy, so about integration strategy, and we'll highlight some points of that. Maybe shortly because I have not too much time about me. So I'm started with SAP basically in 2007, right? Was also an integration developer, an architect, solution architect for HTTP, SCP, BTP. And right now I'm working in the BTP product management team, and I'm also the owner of the BTP solution diagrams repository, which may be made now. We have also some examples later on. And what I mainly do is building, integrating, validating, and cross BTP scenarios. Yeah, also really doing something with BTP and our SAP solutions in combination. Yeah, to see all the gaps and what we can do, and also building exact demos for for our leaders. And yeah, that's basically my job. And yeah, shortly, I want only give a short overview about the integration strategies, and we will have also a short intro about the suite quality topic. Yeah, and I will also have some architecture deep dives about the topic of suite qualities, because that's a really important topic. What you need to know, especially if you're building cross BTP scenarios, also want to connect BTP with LOB solutions or SAP solutions like S4. Suite qualities is a must to go way, especially if you go with innovations, yeah, or want to go with innovations, yeah. And right, yeah. Also, as you maybe might know, yeah, BTP is definitely our centerpiece of our corporate strategy to build on BTP, yeah, and also to integrate on BTP. And yeah, there comes also the integration strategy in place. So what we have asked, I think, 4 or 5 years ago was our customer, okay, what is missing in regards to integration aspects? Huh? And the answer was simple. The one thing was aligned domain models. Yeah, they have a harmonized model of master data, for example, synchronization or integration content, which we have already in the business accelerator hub. Another important topic is seamless UX, that we have the same visual view on all our sub-solutions, yeah? Also not only BTP, also S4, SuccessFactors or field class, for example. And the next point, right, is the integration aspects to deliver integration packages that we have on the Business Accelerator Hub or API Hub, that we can build something with integration suite out of the box to get a jump start to integrate different systems together. And right, another topic was the quality of master data to ensure this, also based on the fact that we're using, for example, master data integration, for example, to synchronize master data in cloud or using MDG with hybrid scenarios, for example. Yeah, and the most important, the last thing from my point of view, because the consistent security identity management, because that's the key for each architecture if you're building a cross BTP solution architecture, how I call it or name it, and that's a really important point. Yeah? And we will see this also in a few minutes. Yeah? To highlight the main suite quality, we can see it here now. Yeah? So one is the seamless UX aspect. It's one suite quality to have, as mentioned before, the harmonized UX. Then the other one is the security topic. We have the aligned domain model. We defined also the topic about the end-to-end business process blueprints, which we also are hosting or are available in the Business Accelerator Hub. And then the topic about cloud lifecycle management, where come all the topic about cloud LM in, and also now in combination with Linux and Signavio, also how to, for example, discover your landscape and make it visible or connect, for example, information from your landscape in Linux. And the other one, which is also shown later in a demo a bit, is a topic about central inbox or task center called as a service, how you can orchestrate your tasks in a central inbox. And the other one is the topic about analytics. And that's the 7 suite qualities which we have defined, which are currently also in parts technology standards called internal SAP or product standards. So all our LOBs needs to be integrated with some or with most of these suite qualities. That means, for example, that the IES is a prerequisite to build a SaaS solution, maybe on BTP. That's really a hard requirement and needs to be fulfilled by the new software product that we are maybe shipping. And all the other stuff as well. And as mentioned before, yeah, the main piece and the most important thing is, right, the topic about how to build up a consistent security identity management, yeah, and really important here to understand that for us, for example, the topic about the SAP Cloud Identity Service is the key service to enabling this. That means not that you not can connect, for example, an Azure AD or AWS, whatever, but IES is for us the integration service to enable all the future scenarios, like, for example, the whole topic about the AI. And that's really important. And you see it also in the next topic. There's also a link for the solution diagram, which you can also view on that. But that's really, for example, a solution diagram, how we want to have the identity lifecycle, also how you can replicate, for example, user informations coming from maybe internally employees from SuccessFactors into BTP or external workers via field glass, then in also via BTP in our cloud LOBs, and also in our on-prem systems. And that's, well, as mentioned, a really important topic, which you might know and need to know to build up the scenarios. And we will see it also in action demo in a few seconds. And another one, which is, I guess, really easy to explain, is again, the seamless UX topic, how we want to bring up, for example, the UX topic based on a central entry point approach into cross-architecture landscapes. And you will see it here in the next architecture, which is a bit more complex. But that's really the target architecture to build a central entry point integration. With multiple SAP solutions based on BTP service, on multiple BTP servers. You see, for example, also SAP Task Center here that you can integrate then with Build Workzone, or you can use, for example, Build Apps to also use low-code, no-code capabilities to deploy custom apps then in Build Workzone, and also building custom processes. But here you see again, that's a key service is on the bottom with Cloud Identity Service that you need to make use of them, because otherwise all these nice new developments which we are delivering are not working really. Right, and now coming maybe to a short demo, because we want not to extend too much here the time. So I will show you now how this looks like in a live demo based on or running on BTP, and hopefully it's working. So what you see here is basically SAP Start. It's our why? Although I need to stop the other one, right? And then we can go. Do you see it now? It's full screen, not really, right? All right, we make it do in this way. Right. And maybe we can also enter full screen. So let's go in this way. Right. And what you see here is really also SAP Start. It's our central entry point approach, especially for our cloud LBs, like, for example, S4, Field Glass, and SuccessFactors. Technical, it's running, and we saw also the architecture before. It's running on Build Workzone. And what we do here in this kind is to integrate multiple services. You see here, for example, the integration of a workflow task coming from the different LOBs. You can also approve and reject this task. That is possible with this kind of integration. And what we also get is then so-called interest cards, which are giving you a visualization option to your business data coming from S4 or Field Glass or SuccessFactors. That's also possible then to display here, especially for business users or power users, to get a first view on that. And they are really then also integrated then into the different LOBs. And now you see, for example, also the magic behind the topic about the consistent security identity management. Only with this mechanism we can enable single sign-on, what we see now, because we are able now to jump from SAP Start, which is running on Build Workzone, in a BTP SaaS application like resource management here in this kind. And that's therefore a really important thing, and the same is coming here for Task Center. For example, the task assignments are also working only if you integrate with IAS. And also the complete topic about the Joule piece. The first time I think we're seeing Joule today. So, and hopefully it's working. But it should be maybe. But also here, we are using the same mechanism like for task center. So for example, the distribution of the global user ID, maybe some of you know that it's here also on field, and maybe you can show it also later on in IES, or maybe you can do it, let's do it later. Yeah? And here you can see Joule, yeah, it's basically our AI copilot, and what we can do here, right, is really to, for example, execute some statements. And what we do now is, for example, calling the document grounding service, which is also a new AI service, which allows you to connect, for example, on SharePoint or on data source, yeah, and get, for example, an extracted information about the document which is stored on SharePoint. Yeah. That's one option, and you can also use, for example, other commands like, for example, executing Joule again to, for example, get informations from, for example, S4 or SuccessFactors. SAP Fieldglass is currently not supported, but what you can see, for example, also, I hope it's working, yeah, but you also can add, for example, Joule or to get the information about the purchase orders, yeah, which coming then from S4, yeah, and you get also here then the information after time. It's also here from S4, right, and get then release information. And here we can also jump it directly. And again, here we have also the connectivity with Cloud Entity services, yeah, basically on that we can really jump into the S4 system or S4 cloud system to get the details, and here also from the purchase orders, yeah, and that's really important topic, and therefore we want to highlight to enable or make sure to have a view on the suite quality topic, because that's really the key to achieve new developments or enable new developments which we provide on BTP. And yeah, with that, I guess the demo is mostly over, and maybe we can do one thing. So as I mentioned before, if you see it here, for example, the key for some of the scenarios, and that's the Cloud IaaS tenant, basically, or a Cloud Identity Service tenant, which may be some of you already using. And we have here the user management integration in, and also the integration with different applications, for example. So if you want, for example, to connect or build up an integration with an application like S/4HANA Cloud, you need to define here, for example, an entry and connect then and exchange the sample information or the OIDC informations here with Cloud Entity Services. And the other important thing is, yeah, right, if you see here, for example, my user, yeah, the key to enable things like Joule or Task Center is, right, the exchange of this ID, yeah, because this is basically exchange via Cloud Identity Saver via the IPS, yeah, or the identity provisioning, to exchange this ID globally across all LOB solutions. And only with that, we can identify the user to execute calls, for example, in Joule or in Task Center, or get business data back. Yeah? And therefore, it's so important to make sure to get familiar with the topic about the IES topic or Cloud Identity Service topic, and as well as the global user ID thing. Yeah? Right, and with that, maybe back to the slides, because it's not too much to show now again. Yeah. So yeah, and what we have now seen before, it's really this architecture basically, because that's the service which we are using here. Yeah, you see again, what we have seen was a build works on foundation service plan basically, yeah, which is part of Substart, yeah, or which is providing Substart, yeah, and then also other services which we saw like Task Center and the activation of the Joule service, which you see here on the bottom. And again, we see also here then the integrations then with third-party data repositories like Office 365 or the sub-cloud solutions here, in this case, S/4HANA and SuccessFactors, which also has enabled the Joule in the application itself, yeah, because Joule is running cross, yeah, so meaning if you maybe jumping shortly back, if you're going here, for example, and see, okay, we have Joule now here in Substart. If you do the same in the, you see what? Not. Okay, wait, like again, the same stuff. So if you go now here in the, like for example, in S4, Joule now is also here, and if it's working, but we have also open, yeah, you see also here that the context information is still there. Yeah, normally we should now see also here that the last call from Joule is also existent, yeah, then in the LOB, which has also enabled Joule, yeah, and the same will happening in SuccessFactors, yeah. So you will not lose your basically your comments or your context, yeah, in Joule by switching another application, yeah, and that's Also, a new other purchase order, I mean. Maybe, wait a second, I can go to that. Ein Joule. Okay. You're welcome. Anyway, okay, and that's the same, right? In SuccessFactors, we have the same situation. Yeah. So if you're going now in SuccessFactors, also via single sign-on based on the SSO piece, which I mentioned before, we see also here the Joule integration, which is enabled here, and also here we should have now the same context, with the last call, and get here also the information back, which we executed just right before. Okay. Yeah. Right. And basically, as mentioned, that's the solution diagram which I'm drafting or creating here. And if you are interested, what I did, I think we have 7 minutes, right? I also created, in the beginning I've mentioned that, I created the solution diagram design repository basically because this is really, I think, highly appreciated, especially from the SAP community. I started also 2018, I think, to crafting solution diagrams based on this old, or not old, but from this PowerPoint template with Bertram is providing these times in the wiki on the SAP community page, and I decided beginning of the year together with other colleague or a designer to crafting this new GitHub repository, also the support of Christian here, to have here a central entry point, and you will see it here, for example, and it's not working again because I need to slow this again. All things are good anyway. This is a repository where you can also get all the informations to craft your own repository. And you will see all the examples which I showed before as part of the suite quality integration strategy topic is also linked here. So all of examples which we are providing are part of this repository, and you see we're providing more and more examples currently for different levels also of granularity, and also some solution diagrams which you really can directly use, because by clicking, for example, of one of them, like let's say, for example, we're using, for example, the authentication piece for a cloud entity service, we are jumping then in Troy, or also a common diagramming tool, I guess, open source, which you can then also go in the diagram, see some informations, or you can really easily open the edit mode and can crafting your own or extend the solution diagram to your landscape. And what's also really nice, and now I have already enabled this since July this year, we have now also integrated the SAP icons, which you know from maybe from Discovery Center or also from the BTP cockpit, natively in all Troy.io installations. So we have it now in the web-based installation as well, and for example, also in the installation on the desktop side. So you can use at version, I think 24/7, whatever. Really, you make use of the SAP icons directly here now in Troy.io without installing any manual library, because this was the approach before. What you also will identify in the GitHub repository, because if you want to have that, because we are shipping maybe a bit faster here new libraries, for example, also in the GitHub repository as Troy.io will do. But basically, I think months later, if Troy.io will shipping that as well, that's not like needs not to be imported manually. But anyway, you can do it, because here you see all the XML files, which are basically in a library for Troy.io, which you can then manually import to get also some information, or get the information, the icons, the different flavors which we are providing as part of the repository. And what is also maybe a bit helpful is, right, also you see in this page, which is also linked then later in the presentation, which you get, is then also here. We provide also integration with Lucidchart, a commercial offering, because we get also feedback from partners and customers that maybe open source is not allowed in the company. And we're also providing here now a Lucidchart marketplace entry, which allows you, especially if you are using Lucid, for example, you can also make use of this components. A bit different way maybe as in Troy.io, but it's possible then also to integrate this with Lucid, because Lucid is maybe a bit more powerful diagramming tool, but as a commercial offering for sure. So you need to pay, but we have also then provided here in the marketplace entry also all the BTP solution diagrams and icons which you already maybe use or need to craft a solution diagram. And the nice thing, and that's the last thing what I maybe share here with you, because what is also a cool addition to that, especially in solution diagram, is now if you know we have here acquired LeanIX, and we can already use now also these kind of diagrams directly LeanIX, and what you can do here is then to, for example, link or fact sheets, which are part basic from LeanIX. I think that's another topic, but what you can do is really to link elements in this diagram, which you can import manually, for example, in LeanIX, also with fact sheets with existing then in LeanIX. Yeah? But happy to, if you are visiting the Jahreskongress in Leipzig next week, I will give here also a session about the topic about landscape discovery and LeanIX and solution diagrams. But yeah, basically, I think the important thing is really this web page, and together with the presentation which I gave about the integration strategy, to understand, I think, the importance of our suite qualities, because that will really enable cross BTP scenarios together with SAP solutions. And with that, I will say thank you, and yeah, quick and fast.
I was joking that you have to finish when I finish my beer. You were on spot.
Yeah.
Any questions?
The last part, the URL, do you have it in the presentation? Okay, thanks.
I have a question regarding the Joule service. Is there a Joule service on BTP? Here, up here. It's me. But can you activate it on BTP? As RISE Premium Plus customer or as usual BTP customer?
Oh, let's need to check out which licensing option you need, but you can activate Joule or using Joule as a part of the BTP service, yeah, which you need to activate first, and then you can use it, for example, in SuccessFactors and S4. Yeah?
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Marco. Very, very basic question. Since I don't know this technology, basically my question is, can you provide some use case? I mean, why the customer should use this platform? Because
BTP, you mean?
Because integrate, okay, understood that integrate, you can basically get some information from other systems, from other SAP systems. But at least from this presentation, I didn't understand some scenario. For example, I think the basic.
Okay, yeah, the one typical scenario is, for example, the central entry point approach. If you want to build up, for example, an employee portal or a supplier portal, then you need to choose especially BTP if you want to integrate multiple solutions, then make it totally sense, to have, for example, S4 on-prem, for example, or SuccessFactors, and want to integrate apps which are running basically in this solutions, and then can you provide this, for example, as a central entry point or as a tile as part of build work zone, and can provide them as in a corporate portal or any portal approach. That's, for example, one typical use case. Or if you have multiple solutions running, for example, your own workflows, that's other example. If you want to orchestrate the task management, then you can make use of Task Center, for example, to have a central entry point to get an overview about your task with the capability also to jump into the system to get more details or to approve also on your mobile device, because also Build Workzone provide basically a mobile application which you can then use to, for example, approve or reject tasks. That's also another example. But there are multi more. You're right. You can integrate this with Task Center. Not all solutions, but C4C, for example, or the Sales Cloud, for example, S4, Fieldglass, IBP, whatever. I think we can also provide a sub help link later. You can integrate with. Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
Just one question regarding the cloud identity services. The global user ID will get provision to all applications.
Right. All application, including also S4 on-prem, for example.
So
Yeah.
success factors,
Right.
S4 on-prem, S4
Yeah.
public cloud,
Right.
etc. Okay.
Exactly. Because it's also a technology standard that we provide APIs, and that's one is a SCIM API, for example. All other application needs to provide a SCIM API, and this will be then also used, for example, from IAS to update the global user ID in the different LOB solution, yeah, or sub-solution. Yeah. Yeah, the global user ID will be created centrally on IAS, yeah, or on Cloud Identity Service. Yeah? And from this point, you need to update your records, which you have done in S4 or SuccessFactors. Yeah? Right, that can be work or IPS. You can also use manually APIs, a SCIM API basically, but the better way is to go with IPS to schedule maybe once a day or whatever the update and so on. Yeah? Correct.
So thank you very much.